So Jake, the last time I spoke to you was for Nightcrawler, and obviously this is such a huge physical transformation. Now, we've all seen your abs, we've all seen what you look like, and we all know you had to work really hard to get that. But how did it mentally affect you changing your physical form so much?
I mean, I think you just start to, at a certain point, when you're in the midst of it and you're working with a director like Antoine Fuqua who's hyping you up and all this stuff, you start to sort of believe your own hype, that because you get positive and you believe yourself to be like a fighter in a way. Once you're in there and you're sparring and, you're in that type of shape, I think it breeds a kind of confidence, and I think it breeds it has to create a type of self-confidence, which is like kind of beyond normal self-confidence. You feel like an animal,
You're known for throwing yourself into roles, to really sort of living the role. Do you think that's your biggest tool as an actor, your total immersion?
I think at a certain point in my career, I went, I've been doing it for a long time and been like blessed to be doing it for a long time. And I think as a kid and even a little older than that, you really rely on your instinct, and that's a great thing. But then craft ultimately becomes extremely important as an adult. Being able to access things, being able to be a real professional in a way that, you can be there and be committed. And yeah, one of the things I've learned is that I really believe that freedom is on the other side of discipline. And I don't believe myself to be sharp enough to be able to just show up and kill it, I need the belief in myself and the belief in what I've learned over a long period of time to come in and be able to commit to something. It's not. I admire the people who can just come in and, just somehow commit. I'm definitely not one of those people. It takes a long time for me to believe.
Cinema over the years goes back and back to boxing movies. When they're good, they are exhilarating. And for much of this film, I was literally holding my breath because for some reason it grabs you. What is it about boxing movies? Why do they do that to you?
I think there's a few paths to the same place, which is that ring, and in that ring there's inherent tension because you just like there is in the frame of in a movie, what's over on the other side. There's nothing. You have two people. There's no real escape, and within there you're tested and tried. And I think the metaphors inside of it are universal. I think no matter who you are, no matter what you do in your life, no matter where you've come from, you have to fight. We all fight in different ways, and it's a metaphor. Sometimes it's literal. But I think also the sport of boxing is about offense and defense all the time. It's about your mind can only match where your body is. And so you're never mastering it. It's always a lesson. Things catch you in unexpected ways. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor for life.
And just finally, talking about being caught in unexpected ways, this looked very real in the ring. I know it's choreographed and it's almost like a dance, but did you take a hit? Did you?
It's actually not as choreographed as this movie and these fight sequences were not as choreographed. What they were based on a lot of mitt work, a lot of combinations over a long period of time, so that there was an offensive and defensive style that was established. And then we built upon that, but we communicated fighter to fighter. There were 3 particular fights where there is a dance, but a lot of it is us talking to each other. And Antoine would roll for 15, 20-minute long takes. So he would ring the bell when he wanted to ring the bell. We would go for 3 minutes, sometimes we'd go for 5 minutes, and fighter to fighter, we would talk between our gloves. And I'd say things like, I'm gonna throw a double jab and then a right hook and a cross, and then say, and we'd be moving, like a boxer would be moving, and then be like, all right, I'm gonna block and then get hit. And occasionally you just don't remember what they said. Do you know what I mean? And so you just get hit. Or you hit somebody. And I think that happened constantly. But I think once that happens, and I think once there's a trust between the two fighters, there's a real respect that occurs over a long period of time. And I think the same thing happens in a real fight, most of the time. You kind of recognize and appreciate somewhere, or, oh, wow, you got that in, huh? When I see a lot of fighters, a lot of time you get hit, and they go like, nah, that didn't hurt, that didn't get me. And you could think of it as taunting, and a lot of times I think it is taunting, but sometimes it's like they know. Like, yeah, nah, you didn't get that. But when they do, it's like, shocking, but there's a respect. There's a deep respect, and the same thing happened when we were making the movie.
Lovely, Jake. We finished our time in the ring, so let's do it like
All right,
boxers
man.
do. Thank you, mate. Thank you.